When I glue my hook eyes, I like to put a smaller fly in there just to try to keep all the glue out of the eyelet. Then it's easy to just break them out, and then I've got a nice clean hole. This is the D.F.I in UV. If you look real close, you'll see that little blue sparkle down inside of the partridge there. And this is the regular D.F.I with the marabou tail, but it still has the UV sparkle up underneath the hackle. I always find it interesting what UV can do to a fly. It's just so interesting how it'll put all these extra colors in it, and people say the fish can see the UV. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it does seem to help patterns out a little bit. This is the partridge I've been using. Hungarian partridge #1, skin natural. And I like to pick the feathers out from this area of the wing up in here. Small version of the D.F.I. It's a little Damsel Fly imitation. D1560 size 12 Daiichi. 210 in olive. Just going to dress that hook real quick. Dark olive, fish hunter marabou for the tail. The other tail option is this pheasant in UV. You can take your pick between both tails, but there is one major difference. One of them's got UV on it, and the other one, as you can see how soft the marabou is, and this tail's going to be a little wispy, but both tails are very effective. Just for the fun of it, I've decided to do a mixture of both on this fly. I think what's important is that you measure it out that it's no more than 1.5 times the length of the hook. We're going to tie this in just like that. Just getting a couple of wraps on here. And then we'll throw a whip finish on it. Give it a little trim. Throw an extra little whip finish on there. We're going to use the Semper Fly, and this second color here I believe is copper brown. Just tie it in with a few strands here. Get it locked on. I'm going to tie it and bring it right back to right where we tied the tail on. I'm going to bring the string forward, throw a whip finish on there. Now we're going to wrap this body. Just try to keep it nice and smooth and tapered. By the time we get to this area, we want to make it just a little bit fatter right here. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up, make it a little bit chunkier in this area right here, just for like the thorax of the bug. Got my hackle pliers just hanging on here for weight. Now we're going to tie this in and pull those little antennas back. We'll come up and around that. Got to be in front and behind of it. And then we'll throw a whip finish on there. Guess we're going to cut that free before we whip finish it. Alright, here we go. I just kept trying to throw it off there. The next step is we're just going to use a little partridge hackle and pull that forward kind of like that. I'm going to tie it in right here on the front end. You want to grab it right there with the hackle plier. So just before we wrap, I put a little whip finish up here. I'm going to get that out of my way. And then we're going to do about 2 wraps, 1.5 to 2 wraps on this. That might look kind of messy at first, but as that hackle comes around, you'll see it'll start to kind of form. And you can be a little bit hackle heavy on these wet flies for the lakes, and it will kind of help it when you're trolling it on an intermediate line. And all I've got to do now is put this on here and whip finish. And just throw a little whip finish or two on here, and put a little bit of glue on the head if you've got it. I'm going to go ahead and trim up around the eyelet and get it nice and clean up in that area before I glue anything, and then kind of show you what this looks like. And you'll see you've got all that sparkle up inside there, and now you got some UV green, and I want to show you a comparison of that fly. In fact, let me finish cutting the thread off here, and we'll compare it to the other one that doesn't have the UV in the pheasant tail. So I got to work the hackle a little bit, but you can see this thing does a really nice undulating motion in the water when you troll it, and it'll imitate damsel flies when they're coming off. And I've done pretty good on a bunch of the little ponds down in central Utah with this. Anyways, thanks for watching.